start the class. In the last period, my dear students, we have studied about the optical activity. We know that some compounds, these compounds, they they rotate the light, plane polarized light into some direction, either clockwise or anti-clockwise, and that is how we get the compound optically active or inactive. We have seen the arrangement of the various instruments in order, that light source and Nicol prism, and then we have our own polarimeter tube, then we have analyzer, and then the observer observe all this. And if there is a rotation, we consider that rotation as a theta, that is the angle of rotation for a particular compound, and by using the formula theta t lambda is equal to theta divided by L multiplied by B or C. We can calculate the specific rotation, and remember that generally the D line, that is what we use here, that is 589 nanometer. We measure the temperature, we find out the theta. We are already aware of the length as well as the density or the concentration of the substance which is studied, and we can we can solve few problems even if they are asked about calculation of the specific rotation, and that is uh, very easy for us now to solve. Please remember that whenever we study the concentration is studied for 100 ml of solution, and density is taken in gram per meter. Generally, the length is taken into the decimeter for the various calculations. Then at last we have studied about the very important notation, that the optical activity is found or is understood by this experiment or by this method. But basically, without doing such experiment, if we want to know about the optical activity, how can we know this? So for knowing that, we should know this, that only chiral compound show optical activity. So we are not aware of this chiral word. So first we should know what this chiral means. Let us try to study this word chiral. To learn chirality, we should know first about symmetry. So let us learn one by one about these various terms, my dear students, and then we can move on. Uh, let's move forward. First, we should look at the symmetry. Symmetry is a kind of characteristics that is observed with the help of mirror. Any symmetric substance or any symmetric matter or any symmetric thing or any symmetric letter that we write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever, or anything, if it is symmetric, would be symmetric when its mirror image can be superimposed on it. That means it will have the same mirror image as the object placed in front of the mirror. So the basic requirement for optical activity is this, that the substance or the mirror image can be, or mirror image should be superimposed. Now how do we understand the superimposed mirror image, or how do we understand symmetry? Let's move forward. It means the mirror image and the thing itself are exactly the same. They do not have even a lateral inversion. Now this, again we have got a new word. What is lateral inversion? So first let us understand the lateral inversion. Let us study with example about the lateral inversion. You can see that we have a letter J. When you put letter J in front of the mirror, you can get such mirror image for J. You can see that the bottom of J See, my dear students, if we think of only this much part of J, then it is exactly the same, which is actually the T. But when we look at the bottom of J, we realize that the bottom has not the same mirror image. What happens? The curve which is on the left side in the left side J turns out to be right side curve into the right side J. This is what it is called the lateral inversion. Let us understand the same for even the small j. Even if we write small j, this point is similar to it. So the mirror image of point is exactly like that. But again, the curve is changed. There is a lateral inversion into the curve. But if you think about t, my dear students, there is no lateral inversion possible in case of t. That means the right side and left side of that line which is there present in T are same. That means the left side is exactly equal to the right side. That means there is no lateral inversion possible when we have a symmetric substance or symmetric thing placed before the mirror image. Now, why? Let us try to read what we have written. J does not have plane of symmetry, but T has a plane of symmetry. Now again we have got one new word. What is this plane of symmetry? So I have shown you the plane of symmetry here. My dear student, this plane which is shown with the green color is the plane of symmetry. This is what it is, the plane of symmetry. This green colored thing what I have shown you is the plane of symmetry. So this plane of symmetry which I have shown you cuts, the plane of symmetry cuts T in a two equal part and both the part are the mirror image of each other. If you cannot understand with the help of T, I have few more examples to give you. Green colored plane cuts T in such a way that both the part of T are mirror image of each other. But if you cannot understand it this way, look at this H I have given you. You can see that both the side of the mirror H is absolutely same. The same you can see in the case of A. The left side of A is exactly equal to the right side of A. If you look at I, you can easily understand that I is being cut from the center, and when we cut I from the center, the upper part and the lower part of I are exactly the same. The same thing you can see for D. I hope, my dear students, now you understand about the plane of symmetry. I am asking, do you understand? Dear students, do you understand about the plane of symmetry?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot, you can
Yes,
ask
sir.
me, please.
Yes, sir.
Good. So these are the letters H, A, I, D. They have the plane of symmetry. They do not have even lateral inversion. Their left side does not become right side. The right side does not become left side. Now you can see here, I have my two palm. You can even check it out by sitting there. आप लोग भी वहां बैठे बैठे देख सकते हैं. अपने आगे अपनी दोनों palm, अपनी दोनों हथेलियों को रख दीजिए. Just put your palm in front of you. You will have the same kind of thing. My dear students, you will be amazed to know that if there is a mirror between your two palms, they are exactly the mirror image of each other. But you can see that your left thumb and your right thumb have got the lateral inversion. If you see your left palm in the mirror, it will look exactly like your right palm, but not exactly left palm. The same is true for right palm's mirror image. फिर से बताता हूं बच्चों, आपकी लेफ्ट पाम जो है, लेफ्ट हथेली जो है, वो लेफ्ट जैसी नहीं दिखेगी. मिरर इमेज में वो राइट जैसी दिखेगी. लेफ्ट जैसी बिल्कुल नहीं दिखती. ये थोड़ा ध्यान दीजिए. But not exactly left palm. The same is true for right palm's mirror image. The right palm's mirror image will look like the left palm, but not exactly like the right palm. The palm and its mirror image cannot be superimposed due to the phenomena called lateral inversion. My dear students, I want you to look into my video. I want you to look into my video. Can you see me, my dear students? Dear students, I'm asking for the answer. क्या आप लोग मुझे देख पा रहे
Yes,
हैं?
sir.
Yes, sir.
This is
Yes,
your, I think it looks left to you. Yeah, yes or no? ये आपको left दिख रहा है कि right दिख रहा है? Okay, whatever. See, these are the two palms. You put them this way. They are still the mirror image. But when you superimpose them, what you come to know? What do you come to know, my dear students? When you superimpose them, what happens? Can you superimpose them? क्या आप उनको superimpose कर सकते हो? बच्चों, मैं आपसे ट्राई कर रहा हूँ. आप मुझसे क्यों नहीं आंसर कर रहे हैं?
सर
क्या बेटा, क्या समझ में आया आपको?
लेटरल इन्वर्जन हो रहा है.
हाँ, क्या आप इनको the thing what I want to ask you is, can you superimpose them? Can you superimpose them? That's what my question is. Can you superimpose your hands? Can you superimpose your palms on each other?
No, sir.
No.
No.
Why?
No,
Because
sir.
there will be a lateral inversion. You cannot superimpose. When you superimpose, your thumbs are exactly on the opposite side. You can see these thumbs. Yes or no? So when you, yeah, they are the mirror image of each other. If you put mirror in between, they are the mirror image of each other. But you cannot superimpose them. And as you cannot superimpose them, they have the lateral inversion, and that is why we cannot consider them as symmetric. I hope you understood it, my dear students. Let's move forward. The palm and its mirror image cannot be superimposed due to the phenomena called lateral inversion. If you stand in front of if you stand in front of mirror image and wave your left hand, let me do it once again for you. If you stand in front of your mirror image and wave your left hand, what happens if you wave your left hand, my dear students? When you stand in front of the mirror image and if you wave your left hand, my dear students, what happens? See, I am waving my left hand. What hand does it look like to you?
Right hand.
Right hand, sir.
Right hand.
It looks like your right hand. Can you please on your videos and put your right hand this way? Make it fast. We are taking time, my dear students. Please follow the instruction. Yes. See, Harshil has understood it. My left hand is exactly, थोड़ा पीछे लेके जाओ, take it back, exactly like the mirror image of your right hand. So when you really make a mirror image, you realize that there is a lateral inversion. Thank you, dear students. Some of you have followed my instruction. I'm happy for them and happy for me myself even that some of them have followed. So this is how, when you stand in front of mirror image and wave your left hand, your mirror image will wave its right hand, not left. Remember, the mirror image will wave the right hand. Your mirror, this is the lateral inversion. Where there is a lateral inversion, there is no symmetry at all. Remember, my dear students, if there is lateral inversion, there is no symmetry. So symmetry is possible when there is no lateral inversion, but if there is lateral inversion, there is no symmetry, and if there is no symmetry, there is chirality. So that is the next point that we are going to study about, which is known as chirality. Let us try to understand about chirality. Carbon has a valency is equal to 4. Carbon has a 4 valency. If all the 4 atoms or group of atoms are same on carbon, let us say CH4 or CCl4, etc., the compound would be symmetric. You can see this. CH4, the mirror image is CH4. You can easily take this CH4 and put on this CH4 and it will be completely superimposed, because all H fits on H, the carbon fits on carbon, all the bonds fits on bond. Same is there in the case of CCl4. Even if you represent CCl4, there will be exactly the mirror image and the object will be superimposed on each other. This is because the compound has a plane of symmetry. This is what the next thing we need to understand. These compounds, my dear students, these compounds have plane of symmetry. Now, what is the plane of symmetry? That is what we need to understand. So, to understand the plane of symmetry, my dear students, let's have a look to this figure, which is there on your screen. You can see this is the carbon that we have. This particular carbon is bonded to 4 other atoms in a tetrahedral manner. Now, when you look at this figure, you can see some 3 planes. You can see this plane. You can see this plane, which is a black colored.
Yes, sir.
Then you can see this is green plane. This plane is the green plane. And there you have the blue plane. This is the blue one. Let me put it here. See, look at these planes and you realize that you have 3 different planes. One is blue, another is black, third one is green. This plane cuts the carbon and 2 atoms at the same time. You will realize that there are carbon and 2 points present at the same time on these planes. And the other 2 atoms become the mirror image of each other. Now let's have a look to this particular green plane. So when you look at the green plane is passing through my dear student, the green plane is passing through these 2 atoms. One is this atom and the another one is this atom. The green plane is passing through this atom, but this atom and this atom become the mirror image of each other. And our carbon is even exactly got cut half by this plane. Same way, my dear students, when you look at the blue plane, my dear students, this blue plane cuts the 2 atoms and the other 2 atoms become the mirror image. So this is what it is known as the plane of symmetry for these carbon atoms, and this is how, my dear students, we truly understand about plane of symmetry. So if any organic compound, if any compound of carbon has a plane of symmetry, remember, if any compound of carbon has a plane of symmetry, it is symmetric in nature. And if any compound is symmetric in nature, it cannot be chiral. So now let us try to understand the chirality. Even if any 2 atoms or group of atoms are same on the carbon, this is what we have seen about the 4 atoms same, and there we have seen the plane of symmetry. But suppose only two atoms are same. Suppose only two atoms are same. Let's say this atom and this atom and this atom are same. But these two atoms are not same. So we can have a plane of symmetry, atoms or groups symmetrically cut. We can have such a symmetry, plane of symmetry that cut these two atoms which are not same. This atom and this atom are not same. They are not same. But as they are not same, they got cut. These two atoms are cut by this plane in such a way that their half of the part become the mirror image of the another part. And these two same atoms become the mirror image of each other. That means here if we have a carbon, and if any of the two atoms or group of atoms present on this carbon, if any of the two atoms or group atoms present on the carbon, even any two are same, you can have a plane of symmetry. So you cannot have plane of symmetry only in one condition. What could be that condition, my dear students? That condition should be that on carbon, none of the atoms or group of atoms present on carbon should be same. In a carbon compound, if all atoms or group of atoms bonded to carbon are not identical, not same, such carbon compound does not have a plane of symmetry. So to not having a plane of symmetry, there is only one condition, and that condition is that the compound must not have any of the two identical group present on the carbon. All the group or all the atoms or group of atoms bonded to the carbon must be different, exactly different, not the same. So all atoms or group of atoms bonded to carbon are not identical. Such a carbon compound does not have plane of symmetry, remember. And such carbon is called chiral carbon. So that kind of carbon where all the atoms or group of atoms present on carbon are not same, such carbon is called the chiral carbon. And the phenomena of having chiral carbon is called chirality. Phenomena of having chiral carbon in a carbon compound is called chirality, or in any other organic or inorganic compound. Chiral carbon is the carbon that has four group or four atoms bonded to it are not identical, not the same. Chirality is the basic essential necessity for a compound to be optically active. If you want the compound to be optically active, if you want the compound to rotate the plane of symmetry, the plane of polarized light or plane polarized light, if you want to rotate the compound to rotate the plane polarized light, the compound must have a chiral carbon, or it should be a chiral compound. Chirality is the basic or essential necessity for a compound to be optically active. So if any compound is optically active, we can blindly say that this compound must have chiral carbon. If any compound is optically active, we can blindly say that the compound must have chiral carbon. But my dear students, it is never necessary or it is never sure that if a compound is having chiral carbon, it is going to be optically active. No. If a compound is having chiral carbon, there is no surety that the compound is optically active. Compound without chiral carbon cannot be optically active. But yes, sometimes compounds with chiral carbon may not be optically active. We shall study them later. We'll see them later. Let's move forward. What is the meaning of the word achiral? Carbon compounds whose mirror image is superimposable are achiral compound, or carbon present in them is an achiral carbon. So those compounds which do not possess chirality, which do not have a chiral carbon, is called achiral compound or achiral carbon. Let's move forward, my dear students. Question: from the following compounds, find compounds that have chiral carbon. So first, propane 2-ol. You can see in propane 2-ol we have 3 carbon, 1, 2, 3. Second carbon is bonded with hydrogen and alcohol. But you can see that CH3 is repeated. There are 2 group of atoms which are identical. So 2 identical groups CH3 with C2, C1 and C3 has 3 identical atoms, and so C2 has 2 identical group of atoms, whereas C1 has 3 identical atoms, C3 has also 3 identical atoms. No carbon is chiral, and that is why the compound is achiral. But when you look at butane 2-ol, my dear students, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. All 1, 3, 4 carbons have hydrogen and they are identical. But when you look at the C2 carbon, you realize that on C2 carbon, left side we have CH3, right side we have ethyl group C2H5, upper side we have hydrogen, lower side we have alcohol, hydroxy group OH. It simply shows that all the 4 bonds are not identical. The group or atom bonded to 4 bonds of carbon 2 are not identical, and that is why on C2 all 4 groups are different, and that is why we can say that butane 2-ol is a chiral compound. Look at the another compound 2,3-dihydroxypropanol. When you look at 2,3-dihydroxypropanol, we start numbering from the aldehyde group 1, 2, 3. When you look at carbon 2, you realize that one group of atom bonded with C2 is OH. Another group of atom bonded with C2 is CH2OH. Third group bonded is CHO. Fourth is the atom which is hydrogen. So the group of atoms or atoms bonded to C2 are not identical, they are different, and that is why we can say that 2,3-dihydroxypropanol is a chiral compound. Butane 2-ol is a chiral compound, and propane 2-ol is not a chiral compound, it is a chiral compound. That's what we can say, it is a chiral compound. Same way we can represent this 2-propanol in this manner, where we have shown, you can see that this mirror image, if you put it up and try to go on this, then you will realize that this CH3 fits with this CH3 fits with this CH3, this OH fits with this OH, and this H fits with this H, and that is why the mirror image can be superimposed. And as this mirror image can be superimposable, it is achiral. But if you look at 2-butanol, this CH3 may fit on CH3, this C2H5 may fit on C2H5, but H has to go on OH, which does not fit. So here we can say there is lateral inversion. There is a lateral inversion, my dear students. And as because of the lateral inversion, we can say that it is achiral. Do you understand, I hope? So this lateral inversion make this to not to have the mirror image of each other, or the mirror image not to be superimposed, and that is why it is achiral. both the structures of 2-butanol are possible. The mirror image cannot be superimposed, and that is why, my dear students, we can say that our 2-butanol is achiral. Now, if we check, we can blindly say that 2-propanol will never rotate the plane of polarized light. But there is possibility that 2-butanol will rotate the plane of polarized light. Same way, my dear students, we can see for the 2,3-dihydroxypropanol and its mirror image, they cannot even be superimposed this way. Let's go to the next one. Both the structures of 2,3-dihydroxypropanol are possible. They are both mirror image of each other and they cannot be superimposed on each other, and that is why they even have the lateral inversion. Left become right and right become left, and that is why we can say that they are achiral. Structure 1 and structure 2 are the structure of 2-butanol, but they cannot be superimposed and they are called enantiomers. Now look at this. Look at these structures. I am talking about structure 1 and structure 2. I am talking about these two structures, structure 1 and structure 2. Structure 1 and structure 2 cannot be superimposed on each other, but can we say that 2-butanol may have this X right side and OH left side? On the same time, this can we call this as a butanol? If we write it this way, will you give it the name 2-butanol? I am asking, dear students. Can we call this structure as 2-butanol? Hello? Dear students, no response? Okay. So, we even call this structure as 2-butanol. We even call these two structures as butanol. They are the structures of butanol only. Structure 1 and structure 2 are the structures of 2-butanol, but they cannot be superimposed. They are called enantiomers, my dear students. When the two structures are the mirror image of each other's, when the two structures are the mirror image of each other's and they represent the same compound, but they cannot be superimposed. Their structures cannot be superimposed on each other and they have chiral carbon. They are known as the enantiomers. Now look at the structure number 3 and 4 are the structure of the same compound 2,3-dihydroxypropanol. They have different arrangements. Their arrangement in the space are even different. They have different arrangement of groups in space. Space means 3 dimension. Their structures cannot be superimposed. Remember, their structures cannot be superimposed. And they are the mirror image of each other's. And that is why they are even called the enantiomers. Now let us understand the definition, stereoisomers. The compounds have same molecular formula, but different arrangements in the space or 3 dimensions are called stereoisomers. We have seen that this structure 3 and 4, they are called the stereoisomers of each other because they represent the same compound and they are the structures of chain. They have just the arrangement of H and OH different into the 3-dimensional space. Now we'll move and understand very important definition which is known as the enantiomers. We have already seen the example of enantiomers. Stereoisomers, that means the different arrangement into the space. Stereoisomers. Now let us start the definition of enantiomers. Optically active stereoisomers. Remember, they are optically active stereoisomers. Optically active stereoisomers. Stereoisomers means structures of same compound with different arrangement in space. So, optically active stereoisomers who are mirror image of each other are called enantiomers. Please remember, my dear students, that for two structures to be enantiomers, they must be optically active. They must be mirror image of each other. Enantiomers have chiral carbon. Being optically active, both enantiomers rotate the plane of polarized light. If one enantiomer rotates the plane of polarized light clockwise, then another will rotate it into the opposite direction, that is anti-clockwise. So, if one enantiomer